Please see the full disclaimer on your screen before we begin.
When we look at monumental landmarks, it is easy to assume they were destined to stand exactly where they are. We imagine a straight, unbroken line from a visionary's initial sketch to a fully funded, flawless execution. Take the original Waldorf Astoria. This imposing structure shifted the cultural epicenter of New York City and became a template for modern hospitality. Yet the original plans for this beloved cultural landmark were met with fierce resistance, and the earliest proposals were completely rejected. Backers withdrew their capital. Before a single foundation was poured, the project was functionally dead a dozen times over. Thomas Edison, a contemporary of this era, understood this mechanism perfectly. He viewed failure as the active discovery of 10,000 ways that won't work. In commercial real estate and hotel investment, this concept of relentless iteration is the required operating manual for survival. Developers must approach the built environment with the exact same empirical mindset. The construction site is preceded by a laboratory of rigorous testing. In modern negotiations, this manifests as the data of no. Every rejected letter of intent or stalled negotiation provides a highly specific mathematical data point about the terrain. These rejections draw a precise map of where the current market ceiling sits. They test the boundaries of lenders, revealing the absolute limits of the era's debt appetite. Striking these strict boundaries means you aren't losing the deal. You are simply calibrating the original vision to match reality. This calibration requires a strict rule. Never mourn a dead deal. Perform an autopsy on it. You place the original underwriting framework, like the specifications in this floor plan, under the microscope to isolate the variable that caused the failure. Was it the mathematical structure? You examine the cap rate to see if valuation misaligned with risk, or perhaps the failure was driven by a miscalculation in the location strategy, putting the asset in the wrong path of growth. You might find the vision was completely correct, but the wrong operator was selected to execute the plan. Isolating these variables turns a complex failure into a stark, mathematical process of elimination. Discovering exactly how a deal broke apart is the only way to ensure you don't repeat the exact same error on your next $10 million acquisition. Even a perfectly underwritten development will inevitably strike an external barrier, bringing momentum to a sudden, violent halt. This friction often appears as a major zoning snag or intense pushback from the surrounding community. Hitting these roadblocks, the core vision isn't dead. The model is simply being forced to adapt. External pressure pushes the initial framework through a continuous evolutionary loop, hardening the asset against future risks. The most resilient cultural assets are the ones that survived 10 full iterations before a single shovel ever hit the dirt. That exact moment, when the theoretical iterations end and physical ground is finally broken, is rare. In volatile markets, the vast majority of players will take a few early bruises and exit the industry entirely. What they leave behind is the persistence premium, the immense profit and cultural legacy abandoned on the table by those who quit. This premium is captured exclusively by developers who stay in the game long enough to find the 10,001st way, the one that actually closes. Ultimately, success in creating the built environment is truly nothing more than a brutal historical process of elimination. If your models aren't failing, if you aren't finding the ways that won't work, your initial swings simply aren't big enough. Keep swinging. And for more insights on navigating the complex realities of commercial real estate and hotel investment, subscribe to Prize Perspective.